This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Growing up a Republican, growing up someone who was kind of spoon-fed patriotism and jingoistic nonsense his childhood life, it is strange to me to witness, to behold the transformation of the Republican Party that was kind of under the covers, hypocritical before, at least in my childhood view of things, looking back. But now it's all out there. They're just wearing it on their sleeve that they don't care about the United States. They don't care about the Union. Republican parties have, all across the country, county and state Republican parties have Lincoln Day dinners, fundraisers for the party, named for Abraham Lincoln, the first Republican president of the United States, who in large part ended slavery in the United States. There was pride about this. Apparently no more. Donald Trump, the leader of the Republican Party, the ghoul who has a Svengali-like trance. He's held the Republican Party in this trance and allowed them, given them permission to be as racist and horrible and terrible as they possibly can. He has animated their worst instincts. He's now talking about the Civil War as though Lincoln made a mistake and maybe the whole thing could have been avoided if only they had negotiated. Which begs the question, negotiated what? Negotiated slavery? Like, you can only have this many human beings as property. Or negotiated the secession of the states, the dissolution of the Union. These are things that have been points of pride for Republicans for decades. And now, maybe Lincoln got it wrong. Watch this from a campaign event in Iowa this weekend. Donald Trump.
If you take a look, the wars, I don't know what it is. The Civil War was so fascinating, so horrible. It was so horrible, but so fascinating. It was, it was just different. I just find it, I'm so attracted to seeing it. So many mistakes were made. See, there was something I think could have been negotiated, to be honest with you. I think you could have negotiated that. All the people died. So many people died. That was the disaster. If you got hit by a bullet in the leg, you were essentially going to die or lose the leg. That's why you had so many people, no legs, no arms. If you got hit in the arm or the leg, it meant you were up because the infection, gangrene. It was just such a, sort of a horrible time. But I was thinking to myself, because I was reading something, and I said, this is something that could have been negotiated. It was just for all those people to die, and they died viciously. That was a vicious, vicious war. And in many ways, look, they're all this, nothing nice about it. But boy, that was a tough one for our country. But I think it's, Abraham Lincoln. Of course, if he negotiated it, you probably wouldn't even know who Abraham Lincoln was. He would have been president, but he would have been president. He wouldn't have been the Abraham Lincoln. Would have been different, but that would have been okay. It would have been a thing that, and I know it very well. I know the whole process that they went through, and they just couldn't get along. And that would have been something that could have been negotiated, and they wouldn't have had that problem. But it was a hell of a time. And you think of it today, I would have absolutely stopped Putin. He would have never gone in, and he didn't. For 4 years he didn't. There was never even a thought of it going in, and that was the apple of his eye. He would tell me, we would talk.
That's a problem. What part was to be negotiated? Again, the ownership of human beings, the immoral, brutal practice, the systematic torture and rape and murder of human beings that were owned like property. Is that something that we can negotiate on this? Was it the maintaining of the republic as we know it? Was that it, Donald Trump? And also a few things here, because this is like a stream of consciousness nonsense from this idiot that, I was thinking the other day because I was reading something. Never says what he was reading, because Donald Trump doesn't read. Donald Trump Look, George W. Bush is a uniquely ignorant character in the history of the presidency of the United States of America. Uniquely ignorant. But Donald Trump makes George W. Bush look like a Rhodes Scholar. Reading is anathema to Donald Trump. He's fascinated. He's studied these wars. Donald Trump, silver spoon dipshit, who was given $200,000 a month or whatever the amount was from the time he was a toddler from his father, is the studier. Anyway, we are at a remarkable tipping point in America where you have one party that has just jettisoned any ability to look at our history and understand the ramifications of the speech of one of its leaders, its premier leader. Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party. It's not vacant Mitch McConnell. It's certainly not Mike Johnson. These people quake in their boots at the specter of Donald Trump posting on True Social something negative about them. Donald Trump is the leader of the Republican Party. And the fact that no one's coming out to say, hey, whoa, this is enough, bro. It puts us all in danger when one of the two parties with any heft, any weight whatsoever is just off the rails. What do you think, though? I'd love to know. You can call. Leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. If I bring you value on a video-by-video basis, I would ask that you please consider supporting and producing this work. Click the join button below for $2 a month. You can become a channel member and help produce this work. You can hit the super thanks button. You can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All of these are great ways to help support what we do here. I would appreciate it. Follow me on social media. You can watch my life be threatened by maniacs, which happened this weekend. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky, all of them. That's where you can find me. I'd love to see you there. And I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. As always, take care of one another.